5. Every replay, every stand-up fight, nothing together on race night. Every night that the legends lead, or the underdog, every winning streak. From all-time heroes to the final line, we hold on till the end of the fight. When the string goes down, the echoes remain. Another chapter written in speed and fame. If you live for the more than the racing truth, learn to all grip that word. That's you. Sign of fame, but the passion stays. Another race in the broadcast haze till the lights go green and the mics ignite. Virtual Grip Network grips the night.
Today is Valentine's Day, the day dedicated to the expression of love, when hearts burst with it and break from lack of it. And the series featured on this broadcast has no shortage of tickers experiencing one or the other. Just like a heart has 4 chambers, after 4 races, there are 4 drivers within 4 championship points of each other. Cupid's golden-tipped arrow of love has targeted Brendan Myers, James Lowe, Ed Foster, and Chris Worrell to romance the stone set center in the champion's crown. But the mischievous cherub of love also has a quiver full of lead-tipped arrows that pierce with pain, dashing hopes and dreams of the foolishly optimistic. Today is a dichotomy of success and failure. Who gets the flowers and candy? Who gets gas station sushi and a fridge magnet? To find out, pull the lever on the Lazy Boy and settle in for the happy satisfaction and sad disappointment that is simulated short track racing. Streaming cyberspace into your place, Lanier National Speedway is the host venue for the Virtual Grip Network's 5th round coverage of the Bootleg Racing League's late model Invitational Series. It's season 33. From the state that one night the lights went out in, a warm Georgia hello and welcome on this Cupid's birthday 2026. Jeremy Gridlock Scott joins yours truly, Bill Soupson, high up in the BGN broadcast booth to bring you our bird's eye view. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders, well, as they say in the language of love, Chef du Chardonnay du l'Amour, it's Ryan Seneker. All right, partner, you were at this place last night. That was a bit of a handful. What do you think we got in store tonight?
Well, the judge of the town's got blood stains on his hand. We had 8 cautions last night. Most of those were off the restarts. So I have a feeling we're going to see less of the restart mayhem and calamity. We might still have some temper simmering over last night as well. So hopefully everybody got a good night's sleep and was able to really think about what happened. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Gotta love a partner who gets my pop music references from the mid-'70s. All right, let's take a quick look at the points. You know, a 7th at Myrtle Beach was Brendan Myers' season's worst. It's 2 pretty wins. That's right, 2 very pretty wins and an ugly 6th and an even uglier 11th for 2-time defending champ James Lowe. Ed Foster finished 11th in the season opener. It's been all top 5s for the Adelaide Blade ever since. Ever so close to getting his first series win is Chris Worrell. He's tied in the points with Foster. Raging against the dying of the light is the boss man, Lowell Jewell. You know, it was Paul Simon who famously sang, "Where have you gone, Todd Listanio? Since fatherhood you've left and gone away." Kyle Feimster is coming off a second broadcasted win. Congratulations. He's on a bit of a hot streak. After a slow start for the caveman, Frank Bloom, well, he's has nothing but top 5s ever since. And a pair of 18ths his last 2 times out is making Ruben Altis's opening round win. Oh, seemed like ancient history. And then rounding out the podium, rounding out the overlay, you can see there, it's Adam Shane. Round 5, that means this one, and then, what would that be? Subtract 5 from 11, 6 more after this one. There we go. I can do the math.
We're broadcasters. It's kind of tough to do math on fingers and toes after a while, especially when you got 100 laps.
Indeed, usual fare, right, partner? The same thing we always do? 100 laps?
100 laps. 100 laps, rung what you brung. You're taking the same girl home that you brought with you to the dance. Lap down cars to the rear. We only got Lucky Dog for the first car, 1 lap down. No tire change or fast repair, and 1 green-white checker attempt. Now, this track is a very tight one. Like we said earlier in the open, just a tick over a third of a mile. One of the tighter tracks we go to here on the schedule, so got to make things just a little bit interesting for these rules to come into play as the checker flag comes out on practice.
And we got ourselves a nice, healthy field. Not too big, not too small. An even score of drivers taking the grid, so that should be all right. I think we're going to be okay. Remember, the grid is based on the finishing order of the top 13 from the previous race, and then they invert those. So there really is no qualifying going on. We will tell you this much, though. When it came to practice, watch out for this. Electric boots. Benny Ellison was the quickest out there in warm-ups, and he's going to be starting pretty much up front, so we'll see how that plays out. Let's give you the starting lineup right now. It's going to be the Canadian Goose, John Wilson, flanked by Chris Hazlett on the front row.
As you work on row 2, it's Tom Hilbert and the 7 at Chris Davis, hoping to avenge his rough night last night.
The aforementioned Ellison starting in 5th, with Todd Liston outside of him.
1 and 2 in points are make up row 4. Brendan Myers, your points leader, and at Mary Alice's favorite driver, James Lowe, in your E spot.
The Adelaide Blade, Ed Foster, starting in 9th position. Alongside him will be the Cape Man, Trey Bloom.
Oh boy, hey, I see an interesting pairing here. We're not talking about row 6. I knows what I'm talking about. It's boss man Lowell Jewell alongside Chris Worrell, looking for that first win, but I don't know if he's going to get it tonight.
And then back right behind them, making it even more interesting, is last week's winner. That's going to be Kyle Feemster in the Baker 7 spot with the Cucumber Kurt Smith in 14th.
Bobby Hayes, a 3rd and 15th alongside Steve Hilbert in 16th.
You saw him sitting 10th on the overlay there. It's Adam Shane. He's going to be inside the quiet man, Ruben Altis. Remember, Altis run the season opener.
So take a look at row 10. Inside is Mark Herzog, and outside is Alan Wanamaker.
They work their way down the backstretch. Pace car's about to pull in 100 laps of short track racing. Partner, let's get it started.
Hayes on the outside, but John Wilson gets the jump as he does. Green flag is outside by side from 3rd all the way on back. Hilbert dives to the inside of Hazlip. And of course, you have Chris Davis in the 7 car trying to see if he can poke his nose go 3 wide. Thinks better of it. Now, the high line came in a little bit later during the race, but then again, that was because we had so many cautions. It's going to be interesting to see how fast this high line comes in tonight.
It's 2 by 2 from 3rd place all the way back. The first 2 get themselves sorted out in single file. That being Wilson and then Tom Hilbert.
So far, so good as Wilson and Tom Hilbert nose to tail. Now Chris Davis gets up front, so he's having a much better start than he had last night, I should say, in the super late models. You see Benny Ellison going along the inside of Hazlip. That's the battle for 4th place. Hazlip with that nice half chrome paint scheme.
That looks good.
Giving us a little bit of an issue.
It really looks pretty out there. And another pretty looking car behind him is the 87, the multicolored car of Todd Liston. He does that for me. Meanwhile, up in front, we got ourselves a peek, and there goes Davis now underneath Hilbert for 2nd.
Well, for the time being, that's going to be a long slog to the lead. Hazlip with a pancake on the front straightaway. And now you see the 11 of Brendan Myers under Todd Liston for 6th place. Myers has it so far. He's going to bring James Lowe with him as Lowe is already up. He's stayed where he was.
Low on that inside line. The drivers on the inside line right now are Ellison, and then Myers, And then behind them, Lowe. Stuck on the top side, doing a really good job up there, is Chris Hazlip. He is really, I don't know if he's going to be hanging much longer, but he's certainly making Ellison work for that spot.
It puts down more rubber on that high line for later on in the race. We know how good James Lowe was last night on the high line, but again, that's a super late model compared to the late model here. As you see your points leader, Brendan Myers, go to the inside of Hazlip. He's got second in points right behind him as they work their way through 1 and 2 once again. And I've got to say, this is quite interesting to see how long it takes these drivers to make their way under some of these other drivers on that second roof.
Again, doing a great job hanging on out there is the 93 of Hazlip. Of course, he might be using up all his Tiger equity early to put on a good show. Let's paint the big picture for you. They came in 1-2 in the points. You heard my partner talk about it. We're talking about Myers and Lowe. They were separated by 2 points. And we got ourselves a caution, and it looks like, oh, it's Liston and the boss man. 2 veterans of the series get together. It doesn't look too bad, though.
Now, just a little bit of racing here as the boss man gets under Liston and just taps him. Do we penalize the boss man, or can we just, pretend that this didn't happen?
Well, that's a good point. I'd be honest with you, I've seen the boss man penalize himself, so. We'll look at it there. There's the 2, and they get together. I'm not sure, even though it is, the number 2 does pay the bills here for me and my partner and Brian Seneca in the director's booth. I'm not sure that one was his fault.
Hey, let's grab Ed Foster. I've got a question for him sitting in the 8th place. And Ed, what is it that your GT3 cars have against kangaroos? Come on.
I only caught the end of that, mate, but yeah, there's been a bit of that going on.
How you feeling out there, and what line are we looking at, Ed?
Look, at the moment it's the bottom, sort of based on last night. It looks like, like the only guy to really make a pass on top was James at the end of the race last night, when he had, by his own admission, he built up a big tyre advantage. So I think in order to get something done around the top, you can sort of hang on around there like we just saw Liston doing, but I think if you're going to actually make a pass, you're probably going to be looking to the bottom if you can make it work.
I know the modifieds are different than the late models. They're doubling up. We'll do this real quick. Can you learn much from the super lates and the late model?
Oh, there are some similarities, mate, but I'm probably not the person to ask. I'll just turn left when the track does.
Got it. Go get him. I asked him. I'm in Australia. So they do oval racing, and they don't turn that direction. They turn the other way.
They turn right for the ovals.
It's the Coliolis
effect.
Yeah.
John Wilson. Yeah. Wilson gets a good job. Of course, Davis trying to hammer tight and continue to kind of run down Wilson. That was kind of the restart that he wanted, but nonetheless, Smith is going to fall back 4 or 5 spots as well. So not sure what happened there, but now Davis is knocking at the door of the Canadian Goose for the lead. Of course, you also have that great battle there between Ellison and Myers.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ellison was having a great run, and then the even odd fairies didn't do him any favors. They put him to the outside. He was really fast in practice. So we'll keep an eye on that. But right now, I think the action, we like to take you all through the field, but the action right now is up front. His nickname is Mr. Aggressive, and he's sitting right behind the Canadian Goose of John Wilson. I don't think it's going to be long till the 7 makes the move here. He gets a good bite off of 4. Let's see if he sticks it down into 1. He does. He takes it in deeper than a Chilean miner. Now they come down the back straight, side by side. Let's see if it's the inside line, shorter way around, or the minimum on the top that pays off.
Well, the one thing he doesn't want to do is take out his own teammate, as Wilson lets it go just a little bit, move Chris Davis to the point, as he is your new leader. Of course, Hilbert falling back just a little bit. Once Myers and Lowe get around Hilbert, however, I think we're going to have one dynamic race for the lead, as we're almost a quarter way through the race. We've only had 1 yellow so far, so much better start than last night.
I'll tell you right now, the boss man told me to have some caution flag filler material ready based on last night. We need to be doing good. You got to talk big picture here, though. As we look at the battle for third, this is Myers ahead of Lowe. And if, Brendan doesn't have to win this thing, all he really needs to do is keep the 99 behind him. That's a tall order. But a third, and then Lowe finishing in 4th would be just fine.
A 1-2 close. They're leaving Myers and Lowe. Of course, now at those who have gotten around Hilbert, it's going to be game on as the listing comes out of the pits. So Myers and Lowe, third and fourth. They're going to close in on the team CDR teammates. And they log yet another lap. Everybody single file. I think they took a look at last night's race and thought probably better not to move, because that was the key last night. If you want to get around someone, you had to suggest what line you wanted them to take.
Well, that really annoys me. I wish they would have told me that, and I wouldn't have got the yellow flag caution material, filler material there. Hey, look at the blade. He's working on the inside of Ellison. Boy, Ellison has been on the outside. Things have not been going good. This is really excitement, though. You want somebody to watch? How about car number 14? Kyle the Dream Feemster. He's good.
Yeah, Feemster did get around Ellison, but he's leaving that door open for Ellison to go back up into the 7th place. As Lowe side by side with Myers is for 3rd place, as both of those are neck and neck. Of course, this is for the aggregate points lead as well, because one move and one of the drivers is going to be ahead of the other in the points as they run.
No bonus points for winning or anything. It's just one position, 1 point. Look at Myers forcing Lowe down there. This is good news for everybody else, because maybe these are the two favorites of the race right now, and they're using up stuff in their little dance going on right here. Inside wins.
And there goes Lowe. So there goes Lowe. He gets around Myers for the time being. Probably listening in thinking, yeah, I don't want to use up my equipment, but he's still closing within about half a car length on Lowe, coming off of turn 4.
So Davis gets around Wilson for the lead. Lowe gets around Myers for 3rd. Bobby Hayes gets a little bit of help from the 9 ball. Alan Wanamaker.
I find funny watching that pace truck work his way around, and yep, that was just a little bit of a punteroo there between the 9 and the 13. Of course, Bobby Hayes facing the wrong way, takes the 2 into the pits.
All right, let's go ahead and dial up last week's winner. This is Kyle Feemster, 14th. He is up 7 positions. Kyle, you got a copy? Kyle Feemster, soup up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, you're our big mover so far. You win last week, up 7 positions this time. Inside line seems to be working for you. You got yourself an odd number, though, on this restart. What can you do?
Yeah, for sure. Try and get down as quick as I can. Ed's quick, so just trying to follow him through the field. He's doing a good job creating holes in traffic, so trying to take care of it, not let James get too far away. James has got 2 tough passes ahead of him. Brennan's quick every week. Myers is, so we'll see how it goes.
And, of course, what's the big difference from last night to tonight? By the way, Soup, he was celebrating a birthday yesterday.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, big thing is these cars just have way more grip, so we're about to go green here. Thanks for what you guys are doing. Steelcraft on the car. Let's go.
All right. Keep him in the booth. I'll spot for you, baby. You're on the outside of row 3. Don't go down yet, because you are not clear.
Yeah, green flag is out once. Yeah, he's not listening. Green flag is out. Now James Lowe has that preferred line between he and the Canadian Goose as they're side by side for 2nd place. Of course, you see Blade down low as well. Feemster's probably going to go with him, but he's trying to decide which line he wants to go. This battle for 2nd, though, really heating up.
Myers right now pulling for the Goose to keep the 99 down low, but now that the pass is made, now Myers wants to make sure that the Goose doesn't sneak in between them. He cannot afford to have a cushion. We talked about Myers just wanting to keep Lowe behind him. Well, now that Lowe's got around him, at least if he can stay on the tail, he can minimize the damage here. He came into the series, came into this race with a 2-point lead. So if he can finish right behind Lowe, he can leave here with a 1-point lead. See how I figured that out?
I see. All that wonderful private school math.
Good Catholic school education, baby.
Meanwhile, I got educated by public schools here in Illinois. All right, so Wilson and Myers still side by side, and I'll tell you what, Ed Foster, he's really closing in on Myers, trying to move them around, suggested, hey, it is time to go because your top two, hey, they've opened up about a 1.2 second lead from third on back.
The guy to watch, if the cautions fall just right, if he can get himself an odd position on the restart, is the 14 of Feemster. Right now, he's sitting in sixth. He's got the Adelaide Blade in front of him. If the Goose who's stuck on the outside, man, he is making Myers really earn this spot. The 11 is using up a lot of rubber to get this spot done. Lowe was able to get through much easier. My goodness, the 75 pinning Myers down. I think the top line may be coming in. Wouldn't be surprised as the 75 gets his position back.
I would not be surprised whatsoever because now we're starting to see that high line come in. And we saw it, as we mentioned earlier on in the last night's race. The later the run went, the high line was the preferred line. Is that the boss man that had a little bit of a wiggle?
We come at you. The light blue, petty blue number 11 is Kyle Feemster. The Canadian Goose in his familiar 75.
That's not
Brendan Myers. All right, there we go. You know what? I was so preoccupied by getting the color right that I missed the name.
Oh, we know who's going to be at the top of Feemster's list tonight, at least. But Wilson, he's really hanging tough there on that high line. Let's see if he can open up the door, and he's not going to be able to because Myers is able to just dive just a little bit harder, and that's given a 2-second lead between James Lowe and John Wilson for that second spot. So once this cork is unbottled, it's going to be a free-for-all, I think.
Racing way too hard. We're not even at the halfway point right now. Finally, Wilson is going to have to give up that spot. This is good news, though, for Feemster and the guy watching back there of Foster. They're racing right there. These are going to be easy pickings. Bad news for Myers, though. He's working so hard. Not what his Lowe is doing right now. Lowe is comfortable in second spot. We will keep an eye on him. He's beginning to peak on the number 7.
That's no surprise that Lowe able to save his equipment and make his way up to the front. But this battle for third place, the bottom step of the podium, I don't know. Do we want to tell these guys that the prize for winning third is to talking to you, and we'll see if they race harder or race softer, and I'm kind of determine who really wants that third place.
Nobody wants that podium spot. Oh, I think the Goose may have it. I'll tell you right now that I gotta tell these guys to knock it up. And now you can see Myers is really struggling trying to keep the car down. They're having a lot of fun, but I'll be surprised if either one of these guys, I'm talking Wilson or Myers, gets himself a top 10 finish the way they're racing right now.
And my question is, too, at what point does Feemster decide he's going to tell somebody what line they're going to be using? Because I'm sure now we're under our third caution of the night, as our cautions haven't come as hard as they have last night, which is absolutely fantastic, and it's the boss man.
This one was slow and brewing. They get together, then it was a late hit. I thought that Benny Ellison was going to get away from this one clean. Watch what happens there. They get together. Stay on this for a while, director. Doesn't look so bad now. Okay, they've cleared each other. Everything is good. No problem. Both cars, look at the distance between them, and then Ellison comes right up into the boss man.
Well, the good news is at least it's not, 6-7 cars involved in each crash. It's just 2 cars.
Indeed. Nothing was settled, but here's the big news. Wilson now is going to be on the inside line, and Lowe could not get the pass made on Davis, and he was coming. So now Lowe's going to be stuck on the outside. The good news for James is the 2 guys behind him have cooked their stuff. Wilson and Myers, I'd be surprised if they're able to stay anywhere close to the front row. Feemster has got to make this move quick, yeah.
Yeah, 16 cars still running right now with Steve Hill. Tail end Charlie, if the race were to end now, Alan Wanamaker will be your pole sitter next time out at Concord Speedway. So it's been, with the what we lacked in cautions, we've seen some great racing tonight.
Give a shout out to Cucumber Kurt Smith, up 6 spots. That's the good news. Bad news is Smith is stuck on the outside. I'll say one thing about Lanier. The caution periods are quick, man. They get them doubled up fast.
Not hard to do 3 laps at a third of a mile track, so that's the good news. And the fact that I had last night too. So they had the weekly series and the Touring Legends karting. Did you know that ARCA and the O'Reilly series were both here? O'Reilly series in the 80s and the ARCA in the 2000s. Green flag is back underway. We're working lap number 61 as Davis really opens up that lead just a little bit. Now it's time for the Canadian Goose to fly under James Lowe.
I just can't think there's a lot of wing power left there on the Goose after working so hard with Myers. The guy to watch out for is the 14. He's young and he's not going to be scared to make a 3 wide. I'm telling you right now, if Lowe can't clear Wilson, watch out for the 14 to make things happen. Out spot for you, James. You're not clear yet. Now you're clear. Tucked down in there in front of the Goose. But meanwhile, the 14 has worked his way up into 4th. He's not going to like that. He's going to want to make quick. You want to get around Wilson as fast as you can. You hate to be racing on an even number.
Well, another driver who's trying to limit the damage per se is the points leader of Brennan Myers as he's trying to deal with the blade down low coming off of turn number 4. It's the battle for 5th place. Foster has the advantage so far, and now Myers going to have to tuck in and dive low.
First time Myers has been on the inside line for quite a while. So now they run nose to tail. My dad used to say passing the leader is like milking a rooster. The hard part starts after you catch it. Well, Lowe has caught the rooster. That is Davis. Now let's see if he can get a little rooster milk. They come across the line. He doesn't have a lot of time to get it done. Working lap 67. They click away fast here at Lanier.
I think getting rooster milk is going to be as hard as getting eggs from the rooster as well, so we'll see what happens. A little bit of rubbing there between the Lipper and the 6 of the champion Smith.
But look at this big move. This is the move. This puts Feimster in a great position. He may not have the ability to run these guys down. In fact, he may not want to run them down the old-fashioned way. But if he can clear Wilson, get into that odd number, then get that careful, don't drift up too high into the Goose there. They get that sorted out. Then, if the caution were to come out, then he starts right behind Myers, or right behind Davis, with Lowe stuck on the outside.
That's one of the drivers that's hoping for some sort of caution here.
Okay.
So see what happens is we've got really Feimster up 10 spots. Herzog, that's a driver having a quiet run up through the field. He's in 9th, also up 10 spots himself as he tries to close down on the Lipper. But you're seeing the 06 in Brandt colors this weekend. It's Chris Worrell sitting there in 10th.
Yeah, Worrell not having the race that he wants. We expect him to be really good. You talked about the 57 of Herzog, notorious for working his way through the field. How about the job that the Lipper have done? The Racing Res, Chris Hazlip, started on the front row, gets a little bit of the wall there. Careful, boys. We don't want to bring out the yellow right now. Of course, that's not what Kyle Feimster wants. He'd love to see a caution.
Well, hopefully he doesn't have to visit confession for all the walls he's been hitting. Sorry, Father, for I have sinned. I've put my own paint on the white walls here at Lanier. 27 laps to go as you see the Racing Rev trying to do his best to stay in position. Here comes Shane on the inside of Worrell for position as well. And you saw race 1 winner right there. Ruben Altice quietly making his way in the top 10.
Good racing going on in the back, but I got to take it up front. The plot has thickened. I didn't think he has the stuff to run him down, but he did. And I'm talking about the 14 of Feimster. He is there now. This might be a case of Davis just going as fast as he needs to keep the 99 behind him. But he's going to bring in the 14, and all of a sudden, a party of 3 has broken out.
We'll see if it's going to be a party of 4 here shortly, as Ed Foster also closing in on that top 3. Shane finally gets around the inside of the Racing Rev. Then you've got the Caveman looking there. Side by side are Whirl and Wanamaker. Yeah, Whirl not having the night he has. He's been falling off like a rock, down 2 spots from his grid spot, but he was running solidly in the top 10 earlier on in this race. Herzog trying to see if he can make it 12 up on the night. Indeed, he does get around the nose of the Canadian Goose. So the Canadian Goose looks like he's fallen off with all the hard racing he had to do.
Yeah, I figured the Goose would have a hard time finishing in the top 10. I think that's the case. How about a tip of the hat, though, to the guys we just saw go around? Herzog and Altice. Herzog up 12, Altice up 10.
So far, so good, as we're 20 laps to go. It's almost about go time for some of these drivers as they try and improve upon where they're at now. And Adam Shane has a nose out front, and here comes their battle for the lead. Really heating up between Davis and Lowe. You've got Feemster not too far away either, so being the interested spectator.
If you're thinking about winning, get the mirror ball spin and grip the groove. Make your move. Put on your dancing shoes. It's time to boogie. Had to fill it a little bit there.
Well, it's hard to do on such a short track, to say the least.
It is.
Now, Trey Bloom, I'll tell you what, trying to get inside that top 10 as he goes around the Canadian Goose, who just falling off like a rock, now trying to ask for forgiveness after he tries to get around the Lipper, going off the turn number 2.
You know, we talked about Feemster wanting a caution flag. I'll give you 2 more guys that could really use one. They are coming. Herzog and Altice. They've been minding their stuff. They got 15 to go. They don't have enough time to do it legitimately. They're going to need a little help from the flag man. But if they were to get a caution and find themselves on a nice odd number, they could be something important. But the laps are clicking down. How about a tip of the hat to Chris Davis? He's been out in front the whole time, led them all. He's got Lowe behind him.
Yeah, but as we know from this race control this year, cautions are harder and harder to come by. Not sure if that's because of the talent or if it's because of the way we're just calling the cautions. Did you see by the way, did you see the eyebrow sticker there on Chris's car? I think he's finally embracing this Mr. Aggressive even further this time.
He does not need to do that. He needs to get as far away from that moniker as he can. Lowe with a good drive off of 2, about 3 feet, 2 feet, 1 foot, but then he backs off. Feemster's there. Feemster's not going to wait. Watch for the 14th. Lowe now has to drive with one eye forward, one eye back, and then the other eye, if he had one, I don't know where that one would look. But he only has 2 eyes, so luckily you don't have the thing for the 3rd eye to look at. Feemster's coming.
That Feemster's coming, of course, these lap cars, the brothers Hilbert getting out of the way there, so perfect timing for that. As 1, 2, 3, they make quick work of the Hilberts coming around turns 1 and 2. So 10 laps to go, soon to be 9 laps to go. Lowe and Feemster just sizing up Davis. Davis, that's one thing about him, is he always knows how to save his equipment for when he's just running up towards the front. Most drivers, that's about the time when the tires start. Not for Chris Davis.
Well, you know what happens in the real world, in nature? If like a bear gets a taste of human blood, then he's always a man-eater. And right now, that's what's happened to Feemster. He has a taste of winning, so he's going to be more aggressive than I think he normally would be on the back of Lowe. He doesn't care that Lowe's in the championship run right now. I won 1. Soup, I want to get 2 in a row. I should be considered one of these guys up here with Whirl and Lowe and Myers to win this thing.
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Davis has, but sometimes he lets his reputation get the best of him. But when he's up front, he is basically unstoppable. And I would put him against, the Lowes, the Feemsters, and the Myers of the world. We got 5 laps to go. We're ticking these laps off really quickly.
And we came in with Myers as your points leader. He's in 5th. Look how all the points leader up front. Lowe was 2nd. He's racing in 2nd. You can't forget about about the Adelaide Blade, Ed Foster. He's having a nice run in 4th position, still in the championship conversation. The one guy that's not having the run that he wanted would be Chris Worrell. He's just not feeling it tonight. The number 06 buried back in 12th position. That's the bad news. But if he stays right there, good news is when we go to the next round, he'll be starting on the front row. All right, partner, the laps are running down. Take us home.
Yeah, they're running down per se, and now it's time for Lowe to take a look to the inside. He's not going to do it so far, though he is closing within half a car length on Chris Davis. Down the backstretch for the penultimate time through 3 and 4. Starter has the white flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Does James Lowe channel his inner aggression? He's really closing in, and you know what? If James doesn't have it, he's not going to go for it. It's been all Chris Davis since he took the point earlier on in this race, and a dominating victory for Mr. Aggressive. Checker flag is out. He is your winner. James Lowe second. Kyle Feemster redeems himself from last night and finishes third.
Feemster disappointed me a little bit. I wanted to see a little more aggression. Go, Gavin, get him. Rounding out your top 5, Ed Foster and Brendan Myers. Look at those guys. It's going to be Lowe, Foster, and Myers so close in the points when we go to round 6. Oh, that was fun. The racing is over. The broadcast is now. We'll take a short break. We'll come back and run down the entire finishing order before we put, then we'll talk to some drivers. Then we'll put a lock on the gate. You're watching the Virtual Grip Network. From Lanier National Speedway, it's the Virtual Grip Network's 5th round coverage of Bootleg Racing League's Late Model Invitational Series, Season 33. The results are in, but before we go to those, because I spent the time getting a Valentine's Day-based trivia question, that question's not going to have a long shelf life, So I'm going to offer it up right now, then give you the answer before we sign off. A little bit of a teaser to keep you to listening the whole show when my partner puts the lock on the gate. So here's your trivia question. What box-shaped, bellow-driven reed instrument is considered by those who play it the instrument of love? There you go. Good luck to that. Now, while you're thinking about that, I'm going to run down the starting order here with my partner. He started in the 4th position, and he gets the win tonight. We're talking about Mr. Aggressive, Chris Davis. James Lowe started outside of row 2, finishes in 2nd. Kyle Feemster, a good run, up 10 positions to get that final podium spot. Ed Foster and Brendan Myers, they both sit very close to each other in the points, and they finish very close to each other in the race tonight, 4th and 5th. Back half of your top 10, Kurt Smith, Mark Herzog, nice run through the field along with Ruben Altice, as those two go 7th and 8th. 9th and 10th, Adam Shane, and rounding out your top 10, the caveman, Trey Bloom. Partner?
Let's take a look at 11th. It's Alan Wanamaker, your front row for next week at Concord. Will be Chris Worrell in the race would have Chris Hazlip. That's John Wilson, last car in the lead lap. The brothers Hilbert were put 1 lap down with a handful of laps left to go. Then out of the race, the boss man, Old Jewel, Benny Ellison, Bobby Hayes, and Todd Liston.
There's your 20 drivers. Todd Liston's season continues to struggle for him. Look for the Lipper, Chris Hazlip. He started outside of row 1 tonight. He's going to be starting on the pole next week. Come on, Lipper, show back. Come up. Show us what you got to lead some lap scores. Maybe go wire to wire. With that said, let's dial up Chris Davis and talk to him, see what he has to say. We'll bring him in, and he's in the booth right now. Chris, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Super Power.
All right, I'm very good. Let's talk about your race and then talk about stuff that's coming up here on BGN that you might be part of. How fast were you going? They were lined up behind you. I had a hunch that you were going just fast enough to keep the guys behind you.
There was a time when that was true. Once James was behind me, though, it was all I could do. There was no anything backing off. I almost looped it in front of him once. Got the rear tires angry and hot, and thankfully was able to get them cooled back off before he could get under me. I was down to, I think, only 46 on my right front, so part of the reason why, I don't know if you guys mentioned it yet, but I was running a really low line down in the turns because you can use the apron to help the car turn, which is what I really needed there in the last few laps because my right front was going away.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the racing and the technique of keeping somebody behind you. And I know you like to keep your strategy sometimes close to the vest, but I like to pick your brain a little bit because I actually do learn things when I get in the car. Is there a way to go slower and protect the inside line, or are you just worried about pace and not worried about leaving the inside open?
That's a good question. Slowing the pace in front of James Lowe is a quick way to end up behind James Lowe. So there's no way that I was going to try and slow up the pace. I was messing around, not messing around, I knew exactly what I was going to do with my brake bias and how I would use the brakes going in and then strategically in some other spots that helps the car turn a little bit. And the risk, though, is that it can also get you loose, and it almost bit me one time there.
Got it. VGN is covering a race every day this week coming up, and I was doing a little research on a few of them, and I'm going to do a little cross-promotion of what's coming up. I noticed your name on Tuesday night to race in that iRock series in the Cadillacs. I'm hoping you're going to be there. Are you planning to show up for that?
Yeah, I'm sure going to try. If that's a cool event to be invited to something like that. I think it's Alan Wanamaker's doing. He's a great promoter. We're so blessed with people in this hobby and in this league that spend a lot of time and effort to put on these shows, and Alan is definitely one of them. Puts together a great product, and it's probably why it's on BGN, and we're blessed to have people like you calling the show.
Well, you'll be missed if you're not there. Congratulations on the win. Well done, buddy.
Well, thank you very much. I do want to clarify one thing while I have the microphone. There are 3 things that Mr. Aggressive never does. Number 1, I will never wreck someone on purpose. Number 2, I will not block, ever. And number 3, I will never retaliate. And I'm going to make that very clear. and I want everyone to know. So that's all I have to say. I wish everyone a great time. Love racing here in this league. It's just a wonderful place to be, and I appreciate being able to do it.
Very good. Good rules to live by. I'd like to add a fourth. Don't eat shellfish on a month that has an R in it. Well done, Chris Davis. Your winner tonight. Partner, who you got?
I gotta think about that one because let's bring in James Lowe while I'm thinking of that one. I'm assuming you heard what Soup said. Don't eat shellfish in a month that has an R in it. That's everyone but May, I think. Anyway, second place. You ran down. Moving along. Got to keep the show running. You caught up to Chris Davis, but tonight just wasn't the night to get around the driver known as Mr. Aggressive. What are your thoughts on tonight's show?
Yeah, I mean, he ran a great line the whole race, and with these cars, they just don't have enough power to try to do like any outside moves like last night. But yeah, he just ran a great line, and I just wasn't able to get a run put together to get far along up near him to where I could make a move down inside. So, instead of trying to push the issue and potentially wrecking him or both of us, we just kind of was hoping for a mistake or, something that we could take advantage of, and he just ran a great race. Congrats to him.
That was a great race that you guys had nonetheless, and you came up through the pack pretty quickly. Of course, thankfully we didn't have all those cautions we had last night either, so a lot cleaner. Of course, up 6 spots, you had Kyle Feemster behind you, breathing down your neck, so it had to be some pretty darn good racing for you.
Yeah, I mean, from my seat, it was pretty clean. I didn't notice anything crazy, but I just tried to be patient and work my way through there, and finally got up to Chris, and just needed a mistake, and he just didn't make one.
And that's Chris Davis making a mistake, really hard to do. First and second, though, on the weekend, head to Concord, where you said in the Super Late Model winners interview, you're really excited because that's one of your favorite tracks. Can we say the same for the late models?
Well, I mean, we'll see. Starting way back in the back, I'm not sure, it might turn into a bit of a calamity, but yeah, we'll see what we got. And it's my hometown track from when I was little. I used to go there all the time, so yeah, can't wait.
Bit of home cooking for you. Well, congratulations, and by our math, you are the points leader by just a slim margin. Anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Mont Mary Alice for coming out and watching like always. You guys for broadcasting, and Lowell for putting on the league and letting me join it.
James the Soup, clear your schedule for Tuesday. I'll be disappointed, but I don't see you in that iRock series, buddy.
I'll be there, but road racing's my kryptonite, so don't expect anything.
All right, good luck. We'll see you down the road.
Oh, come on, it's not that hard. James Lowe, your second place finisher in Soup. That's 9 months out of 12 you're not supposed to eat shellfish. Boom.
I may have got that wrong. All right, let's dial up the guy who finished in third. This is Kyle Feemster. Kyle, my disappointment is probably going to earn you a lot of respect amongst the drivers. I was hoping when you got up there behind Lowe, you'd dive it down in there and force the action. But that may have been Feemster from last season. This was very nice. Well done.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, guys. Not sure what else I could have done there. Definitely racing James. I don't know if I was faster than him or, I'm sure he was being super patient with Chris. So I definitely could have tried to force something, but that results in the same thing we're talking about now, which is either me or James finishing second, and without a caution, Chris winning the race because we're going to slow each other up so much. So I sat around for 15 laps, trying to find a way to get a run, but James is really good corner exit, because he was trying to get a run under Chris. So credit to Chris for holding him off and winning the race. Congrats to him. Just take what you can get tonight, and the tires were wore out by the time I got up there. Probably the same thing for James. So.
Okay, think about this answer. I hope it makes sense. My question does. First last week, third this week. The results are starting to come. Is this like a bing light bulb going off on top of your head and you finally get it? Or is this just a matter of, I should have been doing this all along and I don't know why I was not doing so well earlier?
Yeah, for sure. I still got to figure Friday nights out with the quicker cars. I'm not big, the short track thing I haven't done much of. I've done a lot of oval racing since I've, got on iRacing back in 11. But the short track stuff's a whole nother skill set and running so close to everybody. And I really don't want to be somebody who got to touch you or dive you or something like that to try and get under you. But sometimes, me and Chris talked last night after the race, Chris Worrell, and sometimes that stuff just might be a little bit necessary. So got to build that confidence level up, because in iRacing, unlike what I would assume would be in real life is, we don't have the depth perception, I guess, and what could be a light touch to us wrecks people. And of course, I don't want to do that to the guys that finish in front of me or anybody in the field. But I'm definitely figuring it out. James and Chris and I talked a couple weeks ago, and James gave me some pointers that I appreciate. So public shout out to him for trying to make what is viewed as his best competition. I don't agree with that, but I'm just sitting here trying to learn and have a good time. And I definitely did tonight, learned a little bit that I can't generate a run from lane 2 down to lane 1 behind James. So got to figure something else out.
Well, it was fun watching you. Congratulations on the good results that are coming lately. We'll see you down the road.
Yeah, guys, shout out to Mom and Dad, my wife, Ryan, Claudia, everybody watching, all the men and women of Steelcraft. And you guys have a good night. Thanks, Lowell, for hosting, and you guys have a great broadcast.
You got it. Steelcraft Structures. From foundation to walls to roofs, Steelcraft Structures are big bad wolf proof. All right, partner, take us home. But then remember, everybody, at the end, we'll have the answer to that trivia question.
Oh, you know what? I think Shaggy would love that read for the start of the Friday night series. Hey, we've got a lot of racing this week. I think we've got everything every single day tomorrow night, I should say. After the Daytona 500, tune into VGN for the Gen 4 Yesteryear Racing Cup Series at Daytona, 9 p.m. Eastern, the start for that. Scrambler Series is at Lime Rock Park. We get started with iRocks on Tuesday. And Soup, I'm excited for Wednesday. Got a little bit of home cooking at Chicagoland Speedway in the IR18s.
Indeed, that should be fun. You and me, baby.
Now we're going to be excited. Skidder Creek on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Concord Speedway, the site of the Steelcraft Structures Super Late Model Series and the Late Model Series, Soup.
All right, Gridlock, you want to take a shot at the answer here? Box-shaped, mellow-driven instrument that the players think is the instrument of love. What do you think?
Honestly, I was going to say the bagpipes, but I know that's way off.
It is the accordion. So there you go. And you know what? You're in Chicago. Just go up north a little bit. That's an instrument real big up there in Milwaukee, baby. All right.
Give me a brandy old-fashioned sweet if I think that is the instrument of love. All right, that does it for our broadcast tonight. Thanks for joining us here from Concord Speedway. Alongside my partners, Bill Soup Zahn, Ryan Seneker. Yeah, Lanier, thank you. Ryan Seneker back in the booth telling us how wrong we all are. And Lowell Jewell, the boss man. My name is Jeremy Scott. Keep it pointed forward, keep it between the ditches, and always keep it greasy side down. More racing tomorrow night here on the Virtual Grip Network.
Papa, everybody.